a bunch of pork belly.
Right.
I can get behind that. I'm an Epic Pass guy, so I don't know how frequently I hit Copper and Winter Park and those places.
Right.
But I'm never. I think they have a wine festival actually up there. Don't they have a Copper?
Yeah, most of the mountains have wine festivals.
I think we were actually invited to that one. That was kind of right when we started hitting our groove on the upswing, like slow foods and all that time. We did not make it, but I may sneak up to Copper Mountain, ski a little bit, and I can eat pork belly.
Yeah, it's a fun mountain, and that's for breakfast. And they actually have a really good barbecue place there too, called Eagle Barbecue. And you know, another really good place, because I do a food and wine pairing once a month. And I worked with Charles from Dunbar. He's got really good food down on, it's not Larimer.
It's in 5 Points.
It's in 5.
Tapping
yeah,
Kitchen.
Mm-hmm. And he's got a great, almost like a French dip sandwich. And everything I've had from him has been really good. And he was one of our top contenders before as well in the chili cook-off. His food is really good. And then... someone else.
I'm curious about this Toto place now. After you said it, I looked it up and it says Japanese tapas.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two of my favorite things.
Yeah.
So that's well done. I mean, and so we've added things to not only my list, we've added one to Chris's list. I don't know if we've added anything to y'all's list, but y'all are y'all are in the know. So we're learning from y'all.
There's so much out there.
Where should I have my next cocktail? Where should I make an
Finn's
effort
Manor, for sure. If you're a bourbon guy, they have the largest list of bourbons in town. And they kind of have some eclectic street foods on the outside. You said,
Also, real quick, though, I mean, a good cocktail place in y'all's neck of the wood is Satchel's. Satchel's on 6th. That little bistro. Mm-hmm. One of my buddies used to bartend there. He's no longer there. Went back to Michigan. But their little spot makes hella good at cocktails. And it's a cool, quaint little spot. Roll in there. I always go with dealer's choice. You just tell them a spirit, and they'll knock you something out. So I would check that place out.
I like that.
That sounds pretty neat too.
Yeah, I've had
go to the pros and ask them what you should have.
Yeah, always do dealer's choice. Don't shy away from something.
The Capernia we get at fucking Finn's Manor is fire, and it helps that it's talent packed. Single dude going out on the town, and the bartenders know us, so we kind of get a little bit of love in that regard. So I'm always going to pump our friends over at Finn's, but this one sounds pretty good too. So maybe Chris added something to my list as well.
Should we try and catch our guests off guard real quick with some rapid fire?
Yeah. So do y'all mind playing a little this or that?
Or
rapid fire.
It won't
That's
be
what
hard catching me off guard, but let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So how are we going to do this with two? Are we going to?
You ask the first set, and then I'll ask the second one, and we'll mix them up. I'll throw in questions before, so they won't know what comes next.
Okay, right. But so
you just
both have to answer at once?
No, you can do one at a time, and then I'll do the other person.
All right. Nate, coffee or espresso?
Espresso.
Breakfast or dinner?
I'm dinner, for sure. Heavy dinner.
Heavy dinner? Beer, liquor, or wine?
Beer when I get home from work, and wine with dinner.
Solid.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that. Time out. That's not this or that.
Okay, but there's some nuances to the question. But beer after work is like you reward yourself. Like that was a hard day. I am decompressing.
It is a situational bev.
And food and wine, hands down. I mean, I work at a wine store, so food pairings and great wine is important.
Okay, and final one. Illegal pizza or Chipotle?
Illegal pizza.
Nice.
Went to see you. I'm a Boulder guy, so illegal pizza.
Yeah, illegal pizza all the way.
Buffs? Congratulations on the 5-0.
Yeah, that's great.
Finally.
You ready for this, Carolyn? This shit's about to get intense.
Uh-oh.
That's not true at all. Coffee or espresso?
I like Bulletproof.
Is that alcohol?
No, Bulletproof coffee, but it's made with coffee.
Okay, so coffee, I guess, is the term there. Threw me for a loop there. Beer, liquor, or wine?
Wine.
All right. Then I'm going to shift gears. Red or white sangria?
I think white.
Oh, almost got her. Thin or thick crust pizza?
Thin.
Green or red chili?
Green.
Camus or Silver Oak?
Neither.
Oh, shit. Those were the two that were sold out last time. I was just using y'all's name droppers. Is there one you want to plug for Team Joy that, let's say it's in the same ballpark, like a Stag Leap or something neat like that? If we say neither, you got to give
certainly
an answer.
sell a lot of Silver Oak and Camus.
They were both sold out. That's why I say that.
Yep. and they're great wines. They're extremely consistent, and they're very popular.
I have to look at our shelf. We have so many options.
Recently,
drink for the price point of, I guess, what was that, an $80 bottle, $85 bottle?
We've been doing a lot of Hall and Catherine Hall, and Austin Hope has been selling well at $65.
She really threw a wrench in
that's
the
kind of
whole
a big espresso passo.
Throwing neither in there just threw me for a loop. I was like, damn, they were both sold out over there. I thought that was going to be like the hard-hitting question. But, damn, none.
Actually, if I was going to spend that money, I'd probably buy champagne.
There you go, Veuve.
Oh, never.
Grower champagne.
Yeah.
Which one?
So we have a whole category of champagne that's grown by people instead of corporations. I say, what's the...
Out of here. People grow it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, they grew the grapes. They didn't actually grow the champagne, but, they do. I have a whole... blurb that I wrote one time about what's the difference between the yellow label and the yellow arches, because yellow label is Veuve Clicquot. They call it yellow label, and of course yellow arches are McDonald's. But to me, and I don't want to sound like a snob at all, because people think they're being snobby when they drink Veuve Clicquot. But I mean, the production on Veuve Clicquot is huge. And they're just buying grapes from whoever, and they're looking for a certain style, and they can add, or they're not technically supposed to add sugar, but they can add juice or grape juice to sweeten the wine and manipulate it to taste a certain way. But what I really love to drink is grower champagne, and that's made by individual growers who only own so much property, and they're growing their grapes to come to a certain ripeness rather than being paid by the pound. I could get into this and it would get really complicated, but grower champagne really is about people, and so I want to support those people, and they're really unique wines.
Let's say that you have 2 acres of property, and the 1 acre on this side isn't your best grapes, but Veuve will pay a lot of money for those grapes. You sell it to Veuve, you keep your best grapes for yourself. You love the land that you own, and you love the product that you make. That's grower champagne.
Gotcha. Okay. So are you saying that obviously because Veuve is like a mass-produced
hundreds of thousands,
the price points is probably a little bit friendlier than the ones you're talking about?
No, definitely not. That's where I was saying
Veuve.
Yeah, Veuve Clicquot is owned by Louis Vuitton. So
Shout
that's
out
it.
to our friends in the purse business.
Yes, that's right.
It's a lifestyle brand just as much as a champagne. It's a great champagne, and it's the quality is always superb. It's just not as loved as much as some of the other champagnes out there, and we try to kind of, it's 1 million+ cases produced.
It's the Costco,
and this guy makes 500 cases.
So that's what we were talking about earlier when I was talking about why I come to Joy, and it's this stuff. Like I would have never known that, and the fact that you can offer something
I just learned
a little more interesting.
So if another girlfriend asks for it, I'm going to tell her to fuck herself.
Yeah, exactly. And look at that, like. You come to a dinner party and you're like, oh, I got this grower champagne from Joy Wine and Spirits, and let me tell you about it. And people are being like, oh, my God, this
Nobody
guy's a
wants
baller.
to be that. You don't want to talk to that guy at a party, though.
Obviously you don't harp on it like that, but you get what I'm talking about.
You got to have a better intro on that.
All right. Well, you get what I'm talking about.
Last question. Hot, snowy, or hot weather? Since today is, you're a native.
Well, I would, if it's hot, I would say snowy.
Okay, I feel you. So it's like grass is always greener kind of thing?
Well, it's getting hot. It used to, when I was growing up as a kid, it was never this hot. Like 100 degrees hot or 90 degrees hot. If you said 75 and snowy, 75. It's pretty darn nice.
That's what hooked me.
Walking out the door with my flip-flops and no hat, no gloves.
No humidity pulled me out here.
See, when I moved out here, it was like August. Everybody was like, you can sleep on the couch if you want out in the sunroom, or we have this bed. And I was like, no, the couch is perfect. This feels amazing out here. I'm never leaving. So here we are. I do appreciate y'all letting us come in here, drink your wine, learn a little bit, interrupt conversation. We always ask one question before we go, and I'm going to let Chris go ahead and finish off this week's episode. Before we leave, before we even do the last question, I want to remind everyone, go over to the website. I'm going to let y'all plug that because I forgot it again.
JoyWineandSpirits.com.
Buy your tickets to the Joy Chili Contest. It's the 21st of October. It starts at noon, ends at 4. So if you get here early, you get to make sure, I guess it ensures you get some of the best of the chili, all of the chilies. And then like we mentioned during the episode, there's breweries for days. There's distilleries to boot. We're going to it's going to be a great Sunday. You're going to catch a buzz. You're going to watch me get to pick who wins. I mean, it's bean situation. I'm going to drop so many beans, and whoever gives me booze, I'm winning.
And for listeners out there who have kids, if they're listening to this show, bring your kid on down. It's kid-friendly. And if you don't feel like buying your ticket online and you need to get a bottle of wine or a pack of beer this weekend, come on into the store and buy your ticket here.
I couldn't agree more. Again, Nate, Carolyn, thank you all again for joining us. Chris, hit him with the last question. Let's go ahead and quiz him.
Last question. And this might come into handy when you're trying to get a ride after the chili cook-off.
I see what you did there.
What's your Uber rating, Carolyn?
I just learned this today, 4.91.
I had to grab my phone, and I'm 4.91, too.
Aw.
Whoa.
I lost 0.7 somewhere in the last few months. I don't know what, but I got to go.
You remember that night you went out and couldn't remember? You're like, well, it's been a while. That was the night. So
yeah.
You may have thrown open a cab, but I don't think that would have swung it a whole point. So it seems that y'all treat people well. We do thank y'all for treating us well this week. We can't wait to see y'all in 2 weeks. Don't forget to come down here to Joy. If you're kind of in the dark about what booze you're drinking, like myself, if you want to just stay in the rut of Budweiser, then have at it. But if you want to come down here and learn a little bit more about your booze, maybe try something a little bit outside your comfort zone or something right inside your alley, this is the place to do it. Corner of 6th and Marion. We're reporting from Joy Wine and Liquor. Until next week, we say cheers and no vacancy, Colorado.
Cheers.